Another rainy day. What do you do on a rainy day? I've had a lot of kids ask me, how do you restring a racket? So I'm going to go through how to restring a racket. This is not so much of a tutorial how to string a racket, more like just showing how a racket restrung. This is my machine right here. I use poly for the mains and I use the synthetic gut for the crosses, and I use different tension, and this is a very special type of string that is only unique at this one stove, the big heater. This is the reason why I always put poly, the thicker strings on the mains, because they tend to snap a lot. They tend to snap a lot quicker. So I put those as my mains, and then these crosses, they seldom snap for me. The ones they call gut strings, those are actually made out of cow gut. That actually is cow gut, and there's a company in France that does that, and it's amazing. I've actually seen the factory, and I've actually seen how they do it. It is unbelievable, the production of actual gut strings. Now that gives you amazing feel. See, this is 200 meters, 660 feet. So I can string about 20 rackets out of that, and it says gauge 16. The higher the gauge, the thicker the string. And the smaller the gauge, the thinner the string. So it can go all the way up to 18. It's very, very thin. It gives you a lot of feel, but obviously very little durability. And then the lower you get, the thicker it is. This is 16. I believe it goes down to 15. I haven't seen a 14 gauge yet. And 15 is very thick. So very little feel, but it also gives you a lot of durability. So you tend to keep the racket a little bit longer than normal. Now, how long does it take for you to snap a string? It really depends what type of player, it depends what the weather you're in, depends how hard you hit the board. Are you predominantly a topspin player, or are you a flat hitter? Like, it just really depends. So I have my top 15, 16-year-old kids. They break a string once every 10 days, which is about normal. So I take the big heater, and this is how I measure it up. And I'm pretty somewhat accurate on this. I do 6 of these. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and snap-a-roo. Snap it out. I throw in a little bit for good measure. Make sure we've got the right tension here. The mains, I want to start off really slow because poly doesn't stretch as much. The lower your tension, the more speed you get out of your strings, but also less control. So you want to kind of find that middle ground. But high tension is less power, more control. And low tension is more power, less control. But if I was restringing this for Roger, I would have to do one string at a time. You gotta try to get that blend between power and control. You obviously don't want one or the other. You want both of them. If you're having issues with tennis elbow, do not get your racket restrung high. It is not good for your arm at all. So if you're having issues with your arm, absolutely. You have to restring your racket really, really low. So I know what my clients needs. I know who's having tennis elbow issues. I know who needs to put a little bit more topspin. I know who needs more power. I know who needs more control. I know based on what we're working on, especially with the kids, I could restring for the same kid completely different depending what stage in their development they are. You can influence how somebody plays by how you restring their racket. If you know the person, if you know the person. If you're a serious tennis player, try different tensions, try different patterns, try different materials on the strings, and you will be amazed. It does make a big difference if you're playing at a very high level. But if you're kind of recreational player, it doesn't matter, to be honest. It really does not matter. Bam, I'm already done with the mains. Now I gotta do, so I don't know if you can see properly. Those are the mains are already done. So now I'm going to do the crosses. All right, see if I can set this back again, right in the spot, perfect. All right, the crosses, it's the same thing again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And snap-a-roo. Okay, now, everybody's a little different with this. You can start at the top, you can start at the bottom. I like to start at the bottom. Pull the string, don't pull it straight because the friction is going to start making grooves into the string. So you actually have to pull the string back and then pull like this. So you're not making any grooves into the strings. So you have to be a little bit careful on this one. Newly restrung racket. Try playing with your racket without a dampener, and then also try play with a dampener. You will definitely feel the difference. You either hate it or you absolutely love it. It's one or the other. It's never something in the middle. Did you know it is illegal for you to put a dampener above the bottom string? So if you put in a dampener, for example, you cannot put a dampener here. You cannot put a dampener here. You have to put it right at the bottom before the very first line. If you put a dampener there, that's illegal. I don't know what the penalties are. Obviously, they'll just ask you to remove it, and somebody will have to be really, really desperate and petty to point that out. But just FYI, you cannot put your dampeners there. You can put it right at the top. You can put it at the top before the top string, but you cannot put it between two crosses, and same over this side. All right, that's a little FYI.